Deputy Speaker, me too me like kisim this time long debate long this Commission of Inquiry law UBS loan. Mr. Deputy Speaker, this UBS loan is much talked about loan that has been debated over the years, and report now I'm come out finish. Na imi okata oklo debate lo display report na plan lo imi oklo sing out lo floor of parliament pointing fingers here and there, targeting 1% maybe. But Mr. Deputy Speaker, I want to take the cue from the Governor for Oro. We have had many commission of inquiries conducted in our country. To date, you tell me to date, how many of those commission of inquiry reports and recommendations have been implemented? How many of those reports or recommendations have been implemented? As far as I know, none. None of those commission of inquiry reports and recommendations have been implemented. And you ask me, is it waste of money? I say, yes, it's a waste of money to conduct in this commission of inquiries. It's a waste of money. Many commission of inquiries are collecting dust. Commission of inquiry into the finance is collecting dust. We are all thinking here that our former Prime Minister is culpable of his actions, of this UBS loan. You have to be very careful. Where does the crime start? If you think that the UBS loan was not good and was not right, was illegal, it starts in the cabinet. Who were the cabinet ministers at that time? Who were the cabinet ministers? You had the opportunity to stop it. If you think that it was wrong, don't come to the floor of parliament and start debating and pointing fingers at one person. Everyone who were involved in approving this loan is equally culpable, if there is any culpability in this report. We have to be very careful where we are pointing fingers. We might be pointing one finger and four fingers are pointing back at us, Mr. Deputy Speaker. We had to, if we thought that at that time, at that material time, the loan was wrong, then do it in the cabinet, stop it in the cabinet, or resign as a minister. And I congratulate Honorable Don Pule, who resigned as a treasurer at that time. Why didn't everybody else resign? If you thought that it was wrong, stop pointing fingers at one person. Who signed? Who signed the instrument? Ask those questions. It's there in the report. If there are evidence, it's there in the report. And I'm not here to debate on this report. I'm here to tell us that we've had so many commission of inquiries. We come here and we debate and we point fingers at each other, but those commission of inquiries are not implemented. What is wrong in our country is enforcement. Only yesterday, Prime Minister was talking about 113 laws that he has passed in his time in 3 years. That's the only thing he has achieved. But what is wrong with us in this country? It's not about how many laws that we can pass. It's about the implementation of those laws. Enforcement, that's lacking in this country. The guns report is collecting dust. There are recommendations in those guns report. There's a commission of inquiry. Why aren't we bringing those commission of inquiries and implementing them? We are still waiting for the 14 days audit report for first initial 24 million kina for COVID funds from our good then Minister for Police, Brian Kramer, come Minister for Justice, now Minister for Immigration. He's finished all the ministries. We are still waiting for that report, audit report. 14 days I will provide. Where is that 14 days report of the 24 million? Where is the audit report on the 6.7 billion on the COVID funds? For goodness sake, stop diverting attention, trying to debate because you want to collect, get political point scoring here. Let's be very, very careful. I think it's about time we remove the leadership code and subject every leader in this country, same as the citizens, to the criminal code. We have to remove the leadership code. We are hiding under the leadership code. All of us seated here. It's high time we remove the leadership code and subject every one of us, including our citizens, to the criminal code. Na bayi mi lukim. Nuko di mi blaming mi to go come na. Samblali mi hide na stop. Let's be realistic here. Stop pointing fingers. Minister for Immigration, Minister for Police, Minister for Justice. Where's your audit, 14 days audit report on the 24 million COVID funds? Where's the 6.7 billion report? And if you're talking about the scam, Mr. Deputy Speaker.
We have a point of order. Minister for Immigration.
Mr. Speaker, I note the comments that it appears that the opposition leader is running around the issue and avoiding the main issue of discussion of the 900 million loss. But anyway, Mr. Speaker, on the issue of the 14-day report or the COVID report, it was presented. There was a media press statement with the Prime Minister's office. On the 6 billion, it's in the national budget. How the COVID funds were spent is actually in the budget paper that was tabled. That was a copy was given to you. Mr. Speaker, just the one point. Well, I note that the opposition leader keeps talking about everyone is to blame. Let me read his statement. He said in 2014, on top of the addition to the above bad decisions, the Prime Minister then,
Honourable Minister,
unilaterally decided to commit the people of Papua New Guinea. He himself said it was the former Prime Minister. He said that. It was the former Prime Minister unilaterally. Dr. Blongem.
Honourable Minister, if you want to use the point of order to do explanation, I will not allow for it. I rule your point of order out of order. Opposition Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Deputy Speaker. For the first time you have ruled in my favor. Thank you very much. Mr. Deputy Speaker, I'm talking about facts here. Fact. I'm sticking to the debate. I'm debating about the report. I'm talking about, let me put it this way. There is a scam about to take place in this country. You want me to tell you the scam? I will tell you the scam. There is a scam about to take place in this country. We have authorized one Tukina company to do gold mint and gold bullion in this country. That's a scam. That's a scam. You want a scam? We are selling our national asset, our legal tender, to a Tukina company. That's a scam. That's a scam in the biggest magnitude. Gold is not, you go to any country in the world, they will never allow a Tukina company to come and mint gold in the country. They will do it themselves. That's a scam taking place. What about you? What's happening here? The ministers, are you putting a stop to that? That's a legal tender. If you are talking about scam, and I'm talking about what we are doing in cabinet, we are not stopping it.
Speaker, with due respect,
Your point of order.
can we stick to the debate? The UBS inquiry. Thank you.
Honourable Minister, thank you for your point of order. Honourable Opposition Leader, I will allow you to continue. Stick to the debate that we are debating.
The debate is talking about the scam. And one of the scam is also in the agriculture sector. Biggest scam in the agriculture sector.
Honourable Minister,
I
what's your
am
point of
cleaning
order?
up my department. I will continue to do that. And I don't expect the opposition leader to tell me what to do. Tell him to debate on the issue. Because when the former Prime Minister was saying, he said one word, and I was trying to find out, he said, a criminal. We do have a criminal in this house. We have a former convicted criminal being pardoned and in this house. Thank you.
Mr. Deputy Speaker, I think you have to ask him to withdraw that statement. I want you to ask him to withdraw.
Honorable Minister, I'll concur with the opposition leader. I will ask you to withdraw that.
And Pilim Pentumas Mirausimbek.
Honorable Leader of Opposition.
Mr. Deputy Speaker, I'm not a convicted criminal. I have done the honest thing in this country that you have never done in your life. I saved 360,000 lives on Bougainville. You have never done. What's your track record? I went to jail for saving 360,000 lives on Bougainville. I didn't rape a woman, or I didn't steal from the people of Maprik like you are doing from the Department of Agriculture.
Honorable,
I want you to take that back.
Order.
I'm not a convicted criminal. I'm a hero in this country.
Order. Honorable opposition leader.
You are not.
Order.
You are just a thief sitting in Parliament.
Order.
Mr. Deputy Speaker, I want to...
Opposition leader, you have asked me to ask the Honorable Minister to withdraw the statement. He did withdraw as I've requested for. And then
thank you, Mr. Deputy Speaker.
Explain and justify yourself that I would not allow, please.
Thank you, Mr. Deputy
Speaker.
To the point. I have done the honest thing for the love of my country. I sacrificed my life.
Honorable opposition leader, we have
I
another.
want to tell this guy.
We have another point of order. Minister for National Planning, what's your point of order?
Mr. Deputy Speaker, I think fairly, when Agriculture Minister was asked to retract his comment, he did so. If we can ask the opposition leader to retract what he said about stealing from the people of Maprik. That's a very strong statement to make, so can you retract that as well? Thank you.
Honorable Minister, your point of order is in order. Honorable opposition leader, I would like to ask you to withdraw that statement.
Thank you. I withdraw my statement. But let's be careful on, recognizing leaders. I'm not a convicted criminal, and I want to make that and place that on record. I went to jail for the love of my country.
Names mentioned, and the leader wasn't, there was no implied or he wasn't named, to be fair, and I think the member for Maprik has withdrawn that statement. So I don't think it's fair on the opposition leader to think that it's referred to him only. So I just want to ask you to let him know his name was not mentioned. It mustn't be on answer that it's referring to him. He has withdrawn the name labeling or name tagging. So the opposition leader shouldn't go on thinking that it was directly made reference to him. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Opposition leader, I think I've asked you already to refrain from explaining on that, and you did. So may you please continue? You have only 8 minutes to go.
Mr. Deputy Speaker, it's good for us to debate issues, but we need to be very careful and how we label each other on the floor of Parliament. We have to be really, really careful. What I'm basically trying to say here is this. If there was any culpability in this report, those ministers who were in that cabinet at that time are equally culpable. They had an opportunity to stop this loan from proceeding. It was approved in cabinet. Somebody signed on the instrument, Section 61 or 63, whatever you call it. Somebody did sign off on it. Who signed it? Whoever signed it is also equally culpable. So we cannot come here and debate. If we have opportunity to stop it in cabinet, stop it. If the Prime Minister is not listening to all of you, then resign in en masse to demonstrate your leadership. Not to come here and complain, or not after you have already participated in the crime, and you come out and you stand to complain. I resigned as a cabinet minister in the Somali government because I thought that something was happening was not right. I resigned. And that's on record. Mr. Deputy Speaker, the only solution to all these things is let's seriously look at completely removing the leadership code in this country. We completely removed the leadership code because we leaders are hiding under the leadership code. Subject everyone, including all of us sitting there with our citizens, to the criminal code. So that when the crime is about to be committed or is being committed, police can arrest the guy anytime instead of us waiting for Ombudsman Commission to investigate. That's the only way to go. There's no other way. Otherwise, please, Mr. Deputy Speaker, let's stop pointing finger. If it's a cabinet decision.
Prime Minister, what's your point of order?
Mr. Speaker, thank you very much, and thank you again for accepting the point of order. I just want to inform this House, there's an inference that the criminal code is not applying right now to leaders. Far from it, the criminal code still applies to leaders as we stand. The criminal code is always active against a leader or otherwise, so the opposite leader needs to rephrase his statement. The leadership code doesn't suppress criminal code from performing. I'm no lawyer, but ask the learned counsel at the back, he will, learned lawyer at the back, he will affirm that at every stage, criminal code is always active. The leadership code doesn't stop criminal code from not performing. It's about those who are supposed to prosecute or initiate prosecution like the police to be at work. Just because it hasn't worked in the past doesn't mean that the criminal code hasn't been relevant to our nation. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Prime Minister, your point of order is in order. Opposition Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Deputy Speaker. Whilst I understand where Prime Minister's point of order is coming from, what I'm saying is that I think it would be best to remove the leadership code. That's the best thing to do. Let's subject everyone, including the leaders in this floor of Parliament, to the criminal code. Thank you, Mr. Deputy Speaker.